Hi everyone! This is a great sustainable gift idea. It can be very sentimental if you use fabric that a loved one had, like something that they used to wear. I made this from a flannel from my grandpa. So let's get into the tutorial. First, you're going to want to cut out the shape of a heart in paper and then pin it to your fabric. My fabric has multiple layers because that's just what it was, but yours doesn't need to have that. I will link below the heart shape that I used for this tutorial, but of course you can use any heart shape that you want. You will also want a good pair of fabric scissors. It makes the biggest difference when you have a good sharp pair of scissors for your projects. It's just so much less of a hassle. You're going to need to do 2 of these heart shapes. So basically just repeat the same thing again, cut out 2 heart shapes. Then you're going to pin them together right side to right side. So good side to good side. The bad side should be on the outside. For mine, I used a sewing machine. You could sew this by hand, but it would take much longer, and I'm not going to do that because I have a sewing machine. But you're going to want to sew all the way around the heart shape, leaving about a 2-inch gap, like this one here, because you're going to want to stuff everything inside of that hole there. So you're going to sew a straight stitch all across the heart, like I'm doing here. And then I also did a zigzag stitch for extra strength because I really don't want to have to fix anything in the future for this. You don't have to do this. If you don't have a sewing machine, this isn't absolutely necessary. You could just do another straight stitch or anything just for extra security. And what makes this zero waste for me is I actually take fabric, scrap fabric, or stuff that, like clothes that I'm never gonna wear again, and I cut it up and then stuff that into the pillow. So it makes it pretty sustainable if you use fabric that is not gonna get used otherwise. Or scrap fabric that's too small to be used. I used a lot of scrap fabric too for this. Now, once you're done stuffing it, you're going to want to take a needle and thread. And I just doubled it up, like as you can see here, just for it to be a little bit stronger. And what I'm going to do is a ladder stitch. There's a lot of tutorials on this if mine doesn't make sense. Basically, just follow what I'm doing in the video. Feel free to skip around if you already know how to do this. I filmed a lot of it, so if you don't understand, you can follow along as much as you want, skip around as much as you want. here I reached the end of that first line through. You can see it closed up pretty nicely. It's not exactly perfect, but it's the best I'm gonna do. So then I went over it again back the other way. This isn't necessary, but I just do it for extra strength because I don't want to have to do repairs as much later on. Now when you get to the end of the ladder stitch, you're going to want to knot it off like you would normally. This ended up being an amazing project. I was able to make 3 pillows from the fabric I had. It was super rewarding, super easy, very beginner friendly. And here's the final product. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you made this. Thanks again for watching.